Hey, welcome back. Today we are doing a couple of the newer figures. These are the 8-inch Mego reproduction line figures that started coming out, I want to say, in around 2019. It's got a 2020 trademark date on there. I have already opened these. I wanted to keep this looking as decent as possible, so that what I can do is sort of line that back up and put a paper clip at the bottom of each of these, and they'll still look nice. But I wanted to be able to take them out and check them out. So obviously I've got Q, and I've gotten the Picard Locutus of Borg figure. Now, I gotta say, it wasn't until I actually got these home and I was looking at them that something struck me as being kind of funny about the packaging. I really do like this modern packaging. It's simplistic, but it's still pretty nice. And as you can see, this is, it says Locutus of Borg there, and this one says Q on the box. And you flip it over, and it's got this nice big picture of Q and Picard and Data being advertised on the back. And then on this one, you flip it over, and it's got an actual screenshot from the show of Patrick Stewart. But I noticed, and it really, honestly, it wasn't until I got Q out, I'm going to set him to the side, that then I realized the background behind Q is a Borg cube, whereas the actual Borg figure that I got has just sort of this plain Starfleety looking design. Feel like they kind of missed something there. So let's take a look at these. These are actually, the articulation, of course, is awesome. All kinds of points of articulation on these. The wrists, the hands, the head. The head sculpt. Now, the first thing I gotta say is the fact that, Playmates back in the day, they did something kind of weird with the head sculpt, and they added a whole bunch of other crap that was never seen in the episode, whereas this one is actually a very interesting but more accurate depiction of Picard as Locutus. It does have removable little rubbery boots. These really remind me of my dad had, from back in like the 60s and 70s when he was a kid, he had G.I. Joes, and these boots really remind me of the ones that came with the G.I. Joes. But you'll see that his feet do articulate as well. They don't turn. He only really rotates at the hip there. I like the fact that they just used a black painted hand for this. Now, the one thing that's kind of funny to me is, you see he's got this wire coming off of his head, and then it just kind of comes down, and it's just stuck through another O-ring on his arm. And that's kind of the other thing about this that I get a kick out of, is if I lose any of these pieces, I can just go down to Home Depot and buy some more O-rings, and fix his costume. Now, then we get to Q. Again, the sculpting is... We're going to discuss that in a minute. The costume's really well made. This necklace is actually really cool. It's all plastic, but it's painted up really, really well. The fabric of the cloth, it's a little bunchy at times, but if you were putting this on a display and you wanted to finagle it just properly, you could. Now, he does not have removable boots. His are sculpted on as part of the build. Now, his body, his legs are all red from there up, kind of the same way that his arms are, instead of making gloves. But let me just comment on the face sculpt. Every time I look at it, it's like, it is John Delancey, but it almost is more if John Delancey and Lady Aberlane from Mr. Rogers had a kid. It's It's so close. It's so close, but yet kind of disturbing. And it's, oh, Mister. I don't remember anything that she said. I haven't watched that show in 35 years. That's not entirely true. I actually, a few years ago, my godson, I introduced him to a little bit of Mr. Rogers. We watched a handful of episodes, but I really don't remember much of anything of it. But yeah, so these are the figures. They're 8 inches tall, and I didn't notice that before. I haven't actually put them side by side. They made Q significantly shorter so that he would still fit in the box because of his massive hat. That's kind of hilarious. I hadn't noticed until I put the two of them next to each other, that because I know in real life John Delancey is like 3 or 4 inches taller than Patrick Stewart, and yet obviously here he's significantly shorter. So yeah, that's the Mego 8-inch Star Trek figures that you can find. You can find them at stores now. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. If you enjoy my videos and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Also, you can support the show by signing up on Patreon, or head over to Zazzle to pick up prints of my artwork, prints on canvas, t-shirts, and other merch. You can find me on social media. For more information and updates on the channel, all info is below. If you didn't enjoy the video, why are you still here? Do you want a song? Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, them, 3 bags full. 1 for the master, who can screw himself. You can listen to somebody else.